Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So today is going to be another low quality video. I'm currently not recording where I typically would be recording, but I'm doing a My Mini movie review of a movie I've been wanting to see for a while. It's a movie that came out last year, a multiversal movie that I would say is the best multiversal movie that came out last year. Better than Everything Everywhere All at Once, better than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I am kidding about both of those things. The movie I am talking about today is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
My movie review.
Part of the reason I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while is one, it looked absolutely hilarious. Every scene that I've seen from it looks great, and it actually seems like a very action-packed movie. So I finally got to see it, and I do love it. I thought that it was really good. Nicolas Cage does a great job of playing multiple variants of himself, which is why I jokingly called it a multiversal movie. He plays himself, and then he plays Nick fucking Cage, which is more of like a I really want to be a famous person, and I'm going to be a prick because I am famous, which I thought was actually kind of funny. I thought that was an interesting little twist to have Nicolas Cage and kind of like an alternate version of himself who's kind of like bossing him around and being like, hey, you need to be a superstar. That's what you're born for, man. I thought that was pretty cool. I think that Pedro Pascal in this movie is absolutely amazing. He's hilarious. I love the depth of the character that he has, and I also kind of like the depth of Nicolas Cage's character. And I like the fact that he actually does a great job portraying somebody who would be a father who isn't doing a good job connecting with his daughter. I will say this, I do hate the amount of secondhand embarrassment scenes there are in this movie, because that is one of my least favorite tropes in movies. It's not bad. I understand that it helps build the character and it kind of helps keep the drama going, but when secondhand embarrassment is done well in movies, it is incredibly uncomfortable, which means that they did a good job with it. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Now that being said, there are a lot of good things to like about this movie. Nicolas Cage and Javi's relationship is very great. The way that Javi is kind of like obsessed with Nicolas Cage is great, and the fact that they both are like super duper big movie fans is fantastic. I think it's a very meta movie of having two people who are huge fans of film making a film, and we're actually watching the film that they're making and talking about creating while we think we're just watching the regular movie, trying to figure out how they're going to be setting it up. And then by the end, when they make that big reveal, it is so satisfying. It is great. It is fantastic. They quickly change out the actors and actresses in the film to be the people who are portraying the characters in the movie. And I think it is great how they layer this movie as, here's this thing that's happening in real life, here's this thing that appears to be happening in real life, here's this thing that appears to be happening in real life. Here is Javi and Nicolas Cage talking about their movie that they're thinking about making. Here's some over-dramatic scenes of them pretending like they're in some action movie when in a moment, we're going to be showing something that's actually from the action movie, which is the movie that they're actually talking about writing right now. There's just so many layers in this movie, and I think it is so brilliantly portrayed. I think that the acting in this is really well. I think that the writing is really well, because they managed to write practically a movie inside of a movie while two people are discussing the same movie, but also living their actual lives through the lens of this movie. And I think that it was really cool how they managed to do that. Everything with the CIA was great. It was very funny. It was fantastic. The references to all the different movies that Nicolas Cage has starred in was also hilarious. I love it a lot, because there would just be like a reference where they're in the middle of something. There's like, this kind of reminds me of when you did Gone in 60 Seconds. And oh my God, I remember you did all of your stunts in this one movie. And oh my God, yeah, didn't they have real guns for this one movie? And then they even referenced Croods 2, which is absolutely hilarious. I love it so much. But I love it, though, because another thing that happens towards the beginning of this movie is he kind of mentions that he kind of thinks of his job more as just a job than a career. And I actually do love that, because I feel like when you look at actors like Nicolas Cage who have done so many roles throughout the years, it's kind of taking away from the magic that is being an actor, in a sense. And I think that is great that it sheds awareness on that, because it's kind of like nowadays with Tom Holland, right? When he first came out as Spider-Man, he only had a couple other movies that he's been in, nothing that was really that big. But now it's like you see any movie that has a teenage boy or a young adult guy, it's played by either Tom Holland or Timothée Chalamet, and it's like, it's still great, right? They're still both fantastic actors, but it kind of gets to a point where you just start seeing them instead of the characters that they're portraying, and it kind of shows the oversaturation of certain films. And I think that this movie does a great job being a meta commentary on that. Overall, I think this movie's great. I think that the story behind it is fantastic. Like I said, Pedro Pascal in it is great. Nicolas Cage in it is fantastic. I kind of actually like the actress that plays Nicolas Cage's daughter. I feel like she actually does a pretty good job in this as well. Overall, I would give it a 10 out of 10 story. I think that the action in it is fantastic. The comedy in it is fantastic. And all of the build up to different climactic scenes are pretty great. Like at the beginning of the film, when Nicolas Cage is like, I really don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this thing. He's kind of being a prick. To when Javi is able to get him to finally break into character and like go along with what he's trying to do. It is a great scene. It is very cinematically pleasing. I love everything about it. I think it's fantastic. Definitely with 10 out of 10 recommend this movie, but now giving it a final score before I wrap up this video. I personally think that this movie is worthy of an A+. That being said, because I know that that's my personal bias, because I love Pedro Pascal and I love Nicolas Cage, I'm going to give it a 92, so it's an A-. I still think it was really good, and I like the way that they layer different things on top of it. I think that the acting performances in this are fantastic. The direction in it is fantastic. And I love just some of the, like, small jokes in it that get callbacks. Like, Paddington 2, when they talk about how that's a brilliant movie, which it is a brilliant movie, they call it back later in the movie when Nicolas Cage is watching a movie with his kids, and he's like, hey, what do you want to watch? And she's just like, have you ever seen Paddington 2? 10 out of 10 callback. But yeah, so that's actually going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.